In number 14 and 15, you're given some triangles and just told we want to find the values that are missing there as variables. And so again, we have to first determine, are we talking about 45, 45, 90, or are we talking about 30, 60, 90? You can take a look at the triangle here on the left in number 14. Because we've got angles that are the same, those must be 45-degree angles. So the only equation that we could use would be this one. Hypotenuse equals leg times the square root of 2. Hypotenuse equals leg times the square root of 2. And when I plug values in for those, my hypotenuse here is square root of 6. The leg could either be m or it could be n. It's not really going to matter because they must be the same. Because these base angles of the isosceles triangle are the same, then the legs have to be the same too. So let's just call this one m times the square root of 2. When I divide both sides by the square root of 2, I'm left with m equals the square root of 6 times the square root of 2. I'm going to multiply top and bottom by the square root of 2 so that I get the square root of 12, 6 times 2, over 2. If I want to, got my two equal signs there. If I want to pull out a 4, this would be the same as 4 times 3. Okay, so if I want to write that out, 4 times 3 over 2. And now I can take that 2 and pull it to the outside. So this would be 2 times the square root of 3 all over 2. Okay? Since that's the same as n, both of those values would be 2 times the square root of 3 over 2. Now that was a 45 degree triangle. This one over here you can see is a 30, 60, 90 degree triangle. So I've got those two equations that I could use with that one. Hypotenuse equals the short leg times 2, or the long leg is the short leg times the square root of 3. And in this case, I cannot use this equation first because my long leg is a variable and my short leg is a variable. So I'd have too many variables in that equation, I wouldn't be able to solve for them. I'm going to have to start with this one on the top because I do have the hypotenuse value, which is 24. I'm going to plug that in here. 24 equals the short leg p times 2. And so then when I divide both sides by 2, p must be equal to 12. I'll put that in the diagram up top too. Now I've got enough information to start using this equation. The long leg is q. The short leg, instead of calling it a variable here, now I've got a value to plug in. That's 12. And we're multiplying that by the square root of 3. I've got both of those variables, I've got both of those variables.